don't know that we have two players that embody toughness more than these two guys. Bullard's had injuries throughout the year, has done an incredible job. Stetson speaks for himself. The way he leads, the way he prepares, his mental makeup is such of a quarterback that believes he can make every throw, and what he did tonight was truly amazing. He probably had his best game of his career, in my opinion, with some of the checks he made, some of the decisions he made, just really elite. I want to thank our fans for traveling all the way out here. I hope they understand the message I'm about to say. They can't take it for granted. You know, you can't take opportunities like this for granted, and they showed up in full force, and they better never get tired of it, because we need them here, we need them to back us, and you can't become complacent as a fan, and we can't become complacent as coaches. I'd also like to give a shout out to my dad, who wasn't able to make it, and he and my mom are back home, and I didn't say anything about them earlier, and I miss them, and I wish they were here to celebrate it with my family and myself, and I know it was the right decision. So I love you, Dad, and love you, Mom. With that, I'll open it up.
Thanks, Coach. Again, we will start with questions for our student athletes first. We'll start over here on our far left.
Donnell Suggs, the Atlanta Boys. This question's for Javon. Have you ever played a better game than you played today?
I can't really answer that right now until I look at the tape, but it's a blessing to be able to speak in front of you all tonight.
Next question from back here on our right.
That's it. If you could go back a few years, signing day, you were getting ready to sign with Louisiana Lafayette. You had Georgia called you. You ended up signing with them. What would you have said if someone at the time told you what would happen since then?
I mean, I wouldn't believe them. I don't know how. Good thing I signed with Georgia.
Take our next question from right behind.
Question for Stetson. Coach Mark calls that timeout when you're coming out of the game. Just what was the emotions like in that moment walking off the field?
Yeah. The huddle, because I told all the guys, what are we doing? Why do we have to play? I was like, let me walk out of here. And, but in the huddle, it was as simple as it is, just one nice huddle with the guys. And that was special to the officer, Coach Mark. So, appreciate that.
It's the first time he's ever walked off and I was hugging him.
Go right here to our right in the middle aisle.
For Stetson, right down the middle here. What plays did you check off that Coach Smart was alluding to, and do you think this was your best game?
I mean, there were a few ones. Just what he was saying, some that we had shots where we checked to a run. There was a little blip there. A few where actually the one before the touchdown to AD before the half and checked it out. Coach actually missed out. There's some other ones. As far as best game, I don't know. Again, I don't watch the tape. I'm really watching this tape. So,
We saw a max blitz, and he beat the max blitz and ran for a first down in one of the biggest plays in the game, which takes a phenomenal athlete. He knew what was coming and he set the guy up, and he did a change of protection. He made an elite throw. He schemed up a run, ran a midline run, which nobody runs. He ran for a touchdown. He's got a tackle. It's like a tight end out there in Broderick. And when you got a quarterback that can do the protections and check things and know what the defense is doing, but yet still beat you with your feet, you've got a high-level quarterback. And people have slept on Stetson Bennett for too long. He needs an opportunity to play for a long time at the next level.
Next question from the aisle right here to our slight left.
Hey Stetson, there's people saying you're the best quarterback in Georgia history. Just when you hear that, what does that mean to you to even be in that conversation?
There's so many different variables that go in. Your scheme, players around you. I've been with Monk for 3 years. We brought back pretty much the entire core of our offense from last year, so we were all clicking. So, I don't know. We had a really good offense. It makes me proud.
go back here to our far left in the back.
Stetson, I know you didn't want to talk about the NFL. This game was over. This game's over. Career's over. What do you want the NFL to know about you as they begin to scout you for that level?
I don't know, I've been here long enough, I'm sure. If there's some game tape. I don't know. Hard work, pretty good at football, smart. They'll see that. That'll take care of itself. They will match with James.
I'm gonna go right here to our right in the middle.
This one's for Coach Smart and you, Stetson. Obviously, some roster things you can't predict, like quarterbacks transferring out and having a little bit of instability at the position, but kind of by necessity, you've been forced to develop some of the players on your roster, in addition to bringing in these top-level recruits. And I know football is a development game as much as it's a recruiting game, but, where do you think in that balance this team falls? And, how important was, players getting better under you to being able to get back to this point of back-to-back titles?
Well, it was a big part. You lost whatever it was, 15 draft picks, and however many portals you guys have reported it over and over, and we didn't gain anybody. So the development part was super, super important. I'm going to tell you another important day was about 3 days from right now last year when he came in my office and he said, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to come back or ride off in the wind. He goes, I don't understand. Everybody's telling me that I should just ride off in the sunset and be the legendary quarterback that won a national title. And that's just not who I am. And he's like, I don't get it. Why should I do that when I have an opportunity to play again? Like why don't we go win it again? And I'm kind of thinking that'd be nice, but we lost 15 draft picks. I mean, it might not be that easy this time. And he had full conviction that he wanted to come back and go opposite of the mainstream. Like all he wanted to do. He was here, I think, a year with Jake, and he knew that Jake had left early. And he brought it up to me, and he said, I want to play. I want to go play football and prove to people that this is no fluke. We can do this. And he did everything he said he was going to do.
We're going to go back here on our left. Again, as a reminder, we're going to wrap up student-athlete questions first.
Hi, Stetson. Tonight your team did something that hasn't been done very often in the history of college football. It hasn't been done in a number of years. So what's that feeling like for you to achieve that?
Yeah, I mean, it's special. It seems like for the past 3 or 4 months, it seems like beat us and we just, ran out of games.
Next question over here on the aisle to our left.
Yes, Stetson, I know that it's tough to put things in perspective right away, but given the trajectory of your career and the ups and downs and leaving and coming back and fighting to be QB1 finally, and then having the success you've had last year and this year, how do you put it all into perspective? And do you feel like maybe you're kind of an example for all those other grinders out there that are facing the same battles?
I think the coolest thing to me is in 20 years when this is cool to us, we all come back and we're talking about who intercepted that ball before the half and after a main concussion. Right? That's the coolest thing. This team loves each other. I mean, Coach Schwartz has never had a group like this. Obviously, I hadn't been in this, whatever. He's right. We love each other. Every single person on this team would do anything for each other. And, it's a special thing.
All right, we'll continue with questions. We are going to keep the student athletes up here. Please just let us know who your questions are for. We will address Coach now as well. So we'll take our next question from right over here on the side. Thank you.
Hey, this is for Javon. I know your days in Milledgeville weren't that long ago, but just a few years ago. Could you have then possibly seen envisioned the kind of stuff that you were doing out there in the first half tonight?
As a kid, you always dream of moments like this. And just to see those moments and accomplishments and things like that come true, it's just a surreal feeling. I'm extremely blessed to be in the position I am. And I just thank God for